Ukrainian Air Force proudly presents. It's official, the F-16s are in Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has published a video in which he officially confirmed that F-16s are already in Ukraine and are already performing combat missions. We have often heard the words, "This is impossible." But now it is a reality in our skies, said Ukrainian president. And according to informations, the first 10 of an eventual 79 F-16s arrived in Ukraine on the last day of July 2024. By the end of 2024, Ukraine is expected to have 20 of these American-made jets in operation. The remaining jets, promised by the F-16 coalition led by Denmark and the Netherlands, will be delivered in batches throughout 2025. And Putin did a really fine job here regarding his failed invasion on Ukraine. Instead of demilitarization, as official Russian goals stated, Ukraine is now a fourth military power in Europe, and before the invasion, it was on the 11th place.
Які акцептували наш запит про надання літаків. Дякую. Данія, Нідерланди, Сполучені Штати і всі наші партнери, ми цінуємо вашу підтримку. І бажаю нашим повітряним силам, всім нашим воїнам відчувати гордість українців, нашої бойової авіації і приносити Україні
Near Lukyantsy, 2 Russians sent for reinforcement were attacked by the FPV drone of the Ukrainian armed forces. They were buried in the same grave. When contacting local district military registration and enlistment offices, they do not want to include state awards, wounds, and participation in the Northern Military District Zone in our military records. And they are guided by the fact that we have no importance or relationship with the Ministry of Defense. Fighters of the Wagner PMC turned to Vladimir Putin. Members of the Wagner PMC and their relatives recorded a video message in which they stated that upon returning from the combat zone, they encountered a number of problems. According to the fighters, they cannot apply for military disability, and their injuries are equated to civilian illnesses. Due to their injuries, military personnel are unable to get a job or sign a new contract for military service. And there are really a lot of us like this all over the country, the fighters said. The Ukrainian BTR at the bottom of this list is not a Ukrainian BTR. It is a Russian BTR-70 that the Russians lied about destroying. In reality, the 47th Brigade blew up a Russian BTR-70. It is a Russian loss. And the Russian lying liars lied about it. The Russian infantry is supplied by civilians. Soviet stocks are depleted very fast. About the provision and level of training of the 317th Motorized Infantry Regiment. The guys do not receive normal allowances in accordance with the standards. There are no barriers for the mortar company, anti-aircraft gunners, reconnaissance officers, and other units. There is no appropriate equipment and technology. There is no education and training. Material resources and preparation are a separate issue. There is no instructors from the Ministry of Defense, no training, no personal armor protection. Only thanks to the private initiative of a group of civilian instructors did more or less normal training begin. There are no Army instructors at all. Specialty training is not provided. There is not even educational literature, and what we find, we print ourselves. We don't have time for one answer from the leaders. The command just runs around dealing with bureaucracy and paperwork. They don't know how to fight, and won't. The only goal is to send fighters to the front line with one magazine. They all ignore the fact that there is a war going on there, and the life or the accomplishment of the tasks depends on modern equipment. The unit's command is unable to conduct preparations and coordination. Moreover, upon receipt of weapons, they were given old AK-47. Not a single night vision device was issued for our company. The camping equipment was collected only by volunteers. There is a clear realization that the Army is equipped by civilians. Guys buy at their own expense. A bridge crossing floated away in Russia. Some settlements in the Olginsky district of Primorye have been cut off from the administrative center. Will transport links be restored? I highly doubt it, since all the money is spent on the war. Russian engineering troops. Heartbreaking. The reaction of a sheepdog Aya to Russian missile attack in Dnipro.
Тихо. Блять.
For the record, you're probably going to see this recent SyncX video from RimPac, posted by certain detractors in the Red Sea region claiming that they've sunk a U.S. warship. There are multiple angles of this SyncX showing several different angles of the vessel being used as a training target for various naval weapon systems, none of which are easily identified from the footage. Reality. RimPac conducted a SyncX with Canada, Malaysia, Australia, and the United States on July 12th. The target ship is the decommissioned ex-USS Rodney M. Davis, FFG-60.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.